What's up, man? You guys want to give this a shot?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, does this go like, is this live anywhere? Like,
Well, this one's pointing at me and it is live. And
just to you?
yeah, just to me. This one is recording though, and depending on how the conversation goes, I may or may not post it.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Do you have like a big following or something? Or?
Believe it or not, I don't. But I mean, it's like 2K subs. I mean, yeah.
I was just saying that I got a big.
Nah, I don't have a big following like that. Nah, you'll be all right. It's not gonna go viral.
Cool.
Maybe in the future.
Hey, that's the goal, man. That's the goal.
Yeah. All right, real quick. So.
Come on. Oh, we got blocked out there.
UCR.
Yeah, we got blocked out there.
Well, look at your face. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, if you get closer, you'll be able to block.
Oh, yeah.
So. It's multiple choice question, very easy, you know. So I have 3 box trucks here, and there's a bowling ball inside, hanging with the string. So one of these box trucks is at rest, one is accelerating forward, and one is accelerating in reverse. So out of these 3, which one is at rest?
Should be B.
Yes, B is the correct one. Why would you say B though?
Because it's physics, like objects at rest tend to
Stay at rest.
rest.
Yeah, exactly. So the bowling ball's not swinging in any direction.
Yeah.
So basically, that shows you that it's at rest. Yeah, perfect. Which one's accelerating forward?
I would say A.
Yes. Why would you say A?
Because like, say that when a car is coming to a stop, like people tend to like move
Go forward. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the opposite. When you're accelerating, you get pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the bowling ball, we could say that it's being left behind.
Yeah.
Because the whole container is moving forward, so the bowling ball generally appears to swing back.
Exactly.
Right. Oh yeah, you got it. So that's the first one. The second one's pretty similar, but instead of a bowling ball inside the box truck, it's a helium balloon.
Okay.
And it's tied to a string as well, obviously. So out of these 3, which one is at rest?
It should be B.
Yes, it is B. Yeah, you got it. And it's exactly for the same reasons as the first one, obviously, because it's not moving in any direction, right? Which one is accelerating forward in this one?
I would say that it's again C. I'm sorry, A.
A? Actually, in this scenario, it's actually C. And I'm going to explain to you why.
Okay.
So when I accelerate the van forward in this direction, for example, the air inside of the container here is also moving through space in that same direction. And because air is more dense than helium, is able to push it in that same direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so helium, will react in the same direction as the force in this case, So that's what we'll call buoyancy, right? So again, I can demonstrate that here. So we have a buoyant object inside of water. If I accelerate in this direction, what do you think? What direction do you think the ball's gonna go? This way or this way?
You said if you accelerate in this direction?
Yeah, if I accelerate in this direction. Yes.
The way of acceleration.
Yes, you got it. It's the way of acceleration.
What the?
You see that?
I would not thought about that.
Yeah. Again, because the medium is more dense, when I accelerate the container, the water is actually moving through space as well. So that motion transfer of me pushing the water bottle gets transferred to the ball through the water. So the water is pushing the ball in that same direction. So yeah, so that's what we will call buoyancy. Here, let me just show you this real quick. I did this experiment myself in a cargo van.
That's fun.
With an apple hanging from the string and a helium balloon. So based on these principles, what direction would you say I accelerated this cargo van? To the right or to the left?
To the right.
Yes, exactly. Again, because matter doesn't lie. If I was to tell you that I accelerated in this direction, obviously I'm lying. Right? So I did it in a smaller scale as well, and with different states of matter. So again, it was a container like this with water, a ping pong ball, and a steel ball. So what direction would you say I accelerated here? To the right or to the left?
What item is this one again?
So the red one is a ping pong ball, and then a steel ball. It's inside water.
Water? Oh, then you accelerate this way.
In this direction, yes, because obviously the buoyant object follows the direction of the force. Exactly, yeah. So matter will always react to acceleration. That's the whole point of this. So if I was to show you these 2 water bottles now, so I was holding them at rest like this, but I only accelerated one down. Which one would you say I accelerated down? The one on the left or the one on the right? Which one reacted to the acceleration?
The one on the right.
Yes, that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
Because again, matter reacts to that acceleration. It shows you. Not only that, the ping pong ball gets pushed down. It shows you what direction it accelerated. You know. So let me ask you this: do you believe if I have this container at rest right now and I simply just release it to free fall, do you believe it accelerated down toward the earth? Do you think it got pulled down to the earth?
No.
No, you don't think gravity pulls it down to the earth when I release it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's pushing down always. That's why we get wrinkles.
Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah. So you
something.
actually believe gravity pulls it down, right? It accelerates it down. So here's the thing: the one on the left was actually free fall. I just simply released it into free fall, but we see that matter didn't react to that acceleration.
Because they were all being pushed down by gravity.
Yeah. So the explanation is that gravity pushes everything down equally, but again, matter, if it was truly being accelerated down like this, like I did in this one, then matter will react to that acceleration. But I don't know if you guys knew, gravity is just theory. So what that means is that gravity has never been physically measured or proven, in other words. So that's why they come up with theories, which are just explanations. The fact is, the reason why matter doesn't react to acceleration in free fall is because there is no forces acting on it, because it's not accelerating down. So what is happening, right? So very easy. So if we understand buoyancy always follows the direction of the force, right? If I have a helium balloon here on Earth and I release it, what direction does it go? A helium balloon.
Oh, it's just gonna go.
Yeah, it goes up. Why do you think it goes up?
Because there's, you're just letting it go. Like there's no forces. Like.
Well, there actually is a force pushing it up.
There's like, it's like what you said about the free fall. Like,
No, it's so helium is less dense than air, so the air is able to push up the helium. Would you agree or disagree?
Helium is less dense than air.
And that's why it goes up, because the air is able to push it up. So in order for the air to be able to push up a helium balloon in any direction, the air also has to be moving in that same direction, just like I showed here. The air inside the container is moving in that direction, and that's why it pushes the helium in that direction. So if the helium balloon is moving in this direction, the air is up, exactly, which is pushing up the helium. So what's pushing up the air to be able to push up the helium?
Is that when like things evaporate?
Yeah, hot air rises for the same reason,
rises,
because the air here is more dense than hot air, and that's why hot air rises. So same thing. But what's pushing up the air to be able to push up a helium balloon, for example?
Well, if it's not gravity,
Gravity goes down. What's
Exactly.
pushing up? Fifth graders know that?
No, yeah, they understand this. If I was to explain it to them, it's very easy logic. So what's happening is it's the Earth that's pushing up right now. So I know they claim gravity pulls you down, right? The fact is, the force of the Earth is a push, not a pull. So the Earth is pushing up against you right now. It's not pulling you down towards it. So when we have an object in free fall, for example, the object didn't get pulled down towards the Earth. It's the Earth that comes up to meet it. Yeah, that's what's happening. So the Earth is like a giant elevator, for example, and it's literally moving up. So when something is in free fall, it's just the Earth that catches up again. So that's what's happening. So let me ask you this. You believe the Earth is a ball, right?
right.
So on a ball, up is relative. What that means is that if you're standing here, up is this way. If you're standing down here, up is in the opposite direction. And if you're standing, it's in every direction away from the center. That's what up would be on a ball.
Yeah.
If we could prove that the ground is literally pushing up on you right now and not pulling you down, so it's literally moving up, the Earth, how can the Earth move up in every direction at the same time if it was a ball?
Yeah, it's a good
Those
question.
directions, I don't know, relative
It's
out
on
there.
It's on an axis, theoretically.
Yeah,
So how
it's
is-
been.
So how is it moving up in every direction at the same time? Where the fact is it wouldn't work. That would mean the Earth will have to be expanding. It will have to be growing to be able to push up in every direction away from the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means it would just explode. It wouldn't work, not even on paper. So in order for people to believe in the ball Earth theory, they first have to believe in the theory of gravity being a pulling force. Because if we could prove that the Earth's force is a push and not a pull, then the whole globe Earth model wouldn't work. So the fact is, the Earth is a level plane and we're all standing on top of it, and it's literally pushing up. So that's what's happening. So, and then that will be the number one proof to debunk the globe Earth, is that a pulling force of the Earth doesn't exist. It's actually a pushing force of the Earth. So
So this is gonna be a dumb question, right?
Sure.
Like, would you argue that like, say that something's at a certain height level?
Sure.
Right? Like for example, say that that tree, right? Behind you.
Sure. Okay.
Say that I were to like jump off, right?
Sure.
Of this building.
Yes.
Would you say that since the Earth is like getting closer to me,
Yes.
does that also impact like the height level of you? Like,
So you're saying that are you getting to the point where if you drop something from higher up, there's going to be a higher impact, or
like,
what's your point?
Meaning like is. Oh man, I'm kind of nervous to say something dumb.
No, trust me.
Recorded, like,
No, it's cool. Trust.
Like, I was gonna say, cause say that you're saying that like the Earth gets closer, right?
Yeah, the Earth gets closer. Yes.
And so, does that mean? I was gonna say, does that mean that the height of things change? But no, it can't be.
No. So a lot of people would say, for example, like let's say you jumped off a two-story building, right?
Yeah.
Or you dropped a phone from a two-story building. A lot of people think that the phone crashes into the Earth, right? And the phone breaks. The fact is, it's the Earth that crashes into the phone, not the phone crashing into the Earth. And that's what makes the phone break. A lot of people would say, oh, but if I drop my phone from like 1 feet like this, and I drop it from 10 feet, there's a higher impact. You know, they would say, oh, because it accelerates down, right? The fact is, what happens is, the object is not accelerating down, it's decelerating. So when something's not connected to the Earth and it's in free fall, it's losing momentum per second. So the more it loses momentum, the higher the difference in speed is going to be between the Earth and that object falling. So the higher you drop something, there's going to be a higher impact because the difference in speed is increasing, but not because it's accelerating down, but it's because it's decelerating. So again, it's the Earth that crashes into everything that's falling. You know, falling, in my opinion, it comes from things are just falling behind. So when something is released into free fall, it's just falling behind. It's just being left behind, and the Earth just catches up. Again, everything's moving up right now, and that's why you're stuck to the Earth. So if I was to ask you guys respectfully, what's the number one proof or reason that makes you believe the Earth is a ball?
Honestly, it's just the way that it's just what we were taught in school.
Exactly, that's pretty honest. Yeah, that's pretty honest. That's the most honest answer you can give. So yeah, this is the number one censored topic on Earth, obviously, because they don't want us to find out what this place actually is. So, you know, being honest with yourself, you know, it's actually a good step forward, because that's what it's going to take for people to break through this matrix, you could say. Yeah, exactly, because the globe Earth is the matrix, but it exists in our minds. It's not like a literal matrix, but yeah, the matrix of the ball Earth, you know, everybody, we're all in it. I mean, I was in it as well. So a lot of people would say that images of the Earth from space will be the number one proof, right? But here's the thing, I don't know if you guys knew, I have a couple of images here, but NASA, these are official NASA images from 2002 and 2012, and even NASA admits that they don't take real photographs of the Earth from space. These are all cartoons. They're all CGI. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they admit it. And here's the thing, even if they didn't admit that they were CGI, if I showed you an image of me flying or a video of me flying, would you believe I could fly?
No.
Now, why wouldn't you believe me?
It's just impossible. You know?
Exactly.
No,
it defies physics. Simple as that. Like even if I showed you a video of me walking on water, like supposedly Jesus did, right? Would you believe I could walk on water? No, that defies physics as well. So the globe Earth defies physics too. So even if they claimed that they were real images, I would know they were fake because it defies physics. So, but even they admit that they're CGI. You know, there's no debate there.
Yeah, to be honest, I always thought that the moon landing was fake. Like I thought, like all that. I never really believed it anyway. So
yeah, no, yeah. A lot of people that still believe the globe Earth will admit that the moon landing was fake because it's obviously that ridiculous. But their explanation, they explain it away by saying, "Oh, they faked it because they were just trying to beat Russia to the moon." The space race. Yes, that's the excuse that they give to why it looks so shitty. Like, okay, it was fake, but it was not. It was because we're just trying to fake it, you know, to be there first. But the reality is, they faked it because they want us to believe the Earth is something that it's not. That's the real reason why they faked it. So the fake explanation they gave again is this fake space race that they said.
So why would they lie to us?
So it comes down to control. So the globe Earth is like a religion, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because all religions are based on faith. So they want people to just believe what they're told and just do what they're told, right? And that's what the globe Earth basically offers as well. because it's all based on faith.
What do they gain?
Well, NASA alone get like over $70 million a day, which is, I'm probably sure churches probably get more. I don't know, I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it's just like any other church, it's just trying to get money out of people. So
like a mass following.
yes. So it's, again, I would say NASA is the biggest religion on earth, and government is the biggest church on earth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Government is a church. I don't know if you knew, government was derived from a church, because churches ruled at first. It was all, churches and religion that ruled.
And then that's when the whole
science versus religion came in.
Yeah.
So government was established claiming to be about science, but they're just a religion in disguise. So government and religion are no different. They're the same thing.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah. It's, they're all just about money, just controlling people, manipulation. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this whole science versus religion is no different than like Democrats versus Republicans.
Yeah.
They're all, they're all on the same boat.
I believe it, yeah.
And I know you guys heard of flat Earth, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you said, oh, it's all like in one, I was like, he's gonna talk to us about flat Earth.
So,
immediately I was like,
flat
Earth.
So flat Earth is a psyop too, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because over 95% of flat Earthers claim the Earth is motionless. So they too believe that when you release an object into free fall, that there is some magical force that accelerates objects down. So they don't even realize that they're defending the globe Earth concept with another concept. So the fact is, the Earth is a level plane that's literally pushing up, and that's the biggest lie on Earth. People believing that objects get pulled down, because nothing gets pulled down. It's the Earth that's constantly moving up. So that's how they flip the script. And now you have these motionless flat Earthers that just falling into another psyop that's no different than the globe Earth. Because the whole globe Earth versus flat Earth debate that's happening online, again, it's no different than Democrats versus Republicans. They're both being controlled by the same entities. People like myself that actually calls out both of the bullshit from both of those claims are completely and 100% censored online.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, like 100%. My channel does not get recommended in the algorithms whatsoever.
Really?
And nobody's talking about this in the mainstream. Like they literally ignore people like myself, like all the Globe Earth channels. Even I get more hate from Flat Earth channels than Globe Earth channels, believe it or not. Because that's how brainwashed they are. Because they think they're right now. They think they figured something out, but the reality is that they're no different than a Globe Earth, because they believe in the same thing, in the pulling force of gravity. Even though they mock gravity, but they still believe something that's the same thing, just with a different name. Yeah, they call it RDD. Most of these flat earthers, they say that, well, things fall because of the relative densities. It's called relative density disequilibrium. But again, that's just words. It's worse than gravity, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have any questions for me about this subject? I know you guys heard of flat earth. What do you guys think about the subject, I guess? What have you heard about?
Honestly,
just like the main media, or like people just being like flat earthers are crazy. That's the opinion I get.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't have one because I personally haven't really looked into it.
Exactly.
So
Most people
really
have.
one.
No, yeah, fair enough. So yeah, there is definitely social engineering going on, and there is like a hate campaign, I guess, for people that are questioning the shape of the Earth. There is, and then people are being ridiculed. People are being, people just talk shit, literally, because they have no argument. They have no real scientific argument. The number one proofs, again, is images or just looking at the sun. Oh, the sun's round, so the Earth must be round too. And it's like, that's pretty flawed logic, because looking at the sun and the moon tells us nothing about the geometry of the Earth.
Yeah.
If we want to truly measure if the Earth curves or not, there is a very simple way to do it. So, do you guys know the radius of the Earth? They tell us, like the radius, which would be the distance from the center to the. It's 3,959 miles. That's what they say. If they supposedly have satellites orbiting the Earth, then you need to know the radius of orbit. So they need to know the radius of the Earth if they're supposedly going around it, right? So this is the radius they tell us. Based on the radius of the Earth that they tell us, using a calculation, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is a Pythagorean theorem, we can measure for how much curvature there should be every mile. So in the first mile, there should be 8 inches of curvature. Second mile, 32 inches, and by the third mile, there should be 6 feet of measurable curvature. So how do we measure for that curve, right? So there's a very easy way to do that. If we went to a giant lake that was miles across, obviously filled with water, once the water is obviously contained and at rest, and we build a level structure above it, like a giant ruler, for example, the water is going to show us that it's going to be parallel to anything horizontal above, because that's what water level means. It means a horizontal surface, a level surface. But they're trying to tell us that the lake is not level, it's curving at 8 inches per mile squared, which would mean that there should be a 6-foot deviation in 3 miles from the starting point. So the structure obviously remaining level, that water should start bending 8 inches, then 32 inches, then 6 feet, and then it keeps bending, but nobody's ever observed or measured a surface of a lake do that. A surface of a lake will always be horizontal, regardless of distance. So if you go to any lake, observe the water. It's always going to be a perfectly level surface from one end to any other end. You know, but again, they're trying to tell us that it's curved.
On the ocean.
And then the oceans as well.
Yeah.
But all bodies of water, including the oceans, are level, meaning horizontal. So you guys heard of the term sea level, right?
Yeah.
That's how we determine height and depth from that data line of the water being level. So we rely on water being level to be able to determine different heights and different depths as well. So again, this whole idea of the Earth being a ball, it's all derived from the idea that objects are being pulled down by gravity. And that's how they explain water bending. Oh, water is bending because gravity is pulling it, you know, and bending it. And it just happens in a bigger scale that we can't see or measure. But it's like, what is 8 inches per mile squared based on the radius you gave us? So it should be measurable, easily. But that's just the excuse. The Earth is just too big to measure. But yeah, again, those are just excuses because the fact is the Earth is not a ball. It's a level plane. So that's the reality. So, I mean, is there anything that makes you believe the Earth is a ball? I know he said that, you know, it's just what he was told, but what makes you believe that?
Like I said, I never went deep into
why you believe it.
Why I believe it, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, I mean, you were just like me then. You just accepted everything that you were shown.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because at one point I did kind of see that all of our outer space videos, especially from back in the day when I was in middle school, they were all like very cartoony and very CGI. Everything that they shown about outer space, and it makes sense now. Why? Is because outer space, as they portray it, doesn't exist. So nobody's actually been outside of the Earth to get a bird's eye or a God's eye view of the Earth as a whole. Nobody has that perspective. Yeah, so yeah, everything that we're told about what the Earth is and what's outside of the Earth, all of that is a lie. You know.
When did you first start questioning?
So I came across this in 2016. So yeah, so basically 9 years ago when I was 24. I'm 33 now, and my understanding has only gotten better. So yeah, definitely. So the number one censored thing about this subject is the pulling force of gravity. It's the fact is it's a pushing force. Pulling forces don't exist. Everything that has motion, that moves, requires a push, requires pressure. And that's the only forces that exist in nature. A pulling force that they claim that can accelerate matter equally in free fall, for example, that kind of force doesn't exist. So again, it only exists on paper through equations. Yeah. So yeah. So what do you guys think? You think it's possible that we have been lied to about what this place actually is, or are you 100% convinced that it's a ball?
No, I think you know, I feel like the government always lies about a bunch of stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they were lying about this.
Yes.
So I believe it. You know,
yeah. But don't believe me at the end of the day. Trust your common sense and trust the claim. You got to put their claims to the test. Right. That's what it comes down to. So again, they're claiming a radius of the Earth, which means they're claiming curvature by default. Yeah. And this is the curvature drop that should be there. Yeah. In 10 miles, there should be 66 feet of curvature. 66 feet is like a 6-story building. Now imagine a lake that was 10 miles across. They're trying to tell us that lake is deviating 66 feet from one end to the other. The surface that it's bending in. It's physically impossible. The surface of water will always collapse and form an equal surface, which is level. Always. You cannot make water make a hump in the middle, or you know, that's what they're claiming. That defies physics. So yeah, all of these images that they're showing us from outer space, not only do they admit they're fake, but they defy physics as well. You know. So yeah, this is the number one censored topic online, for obvious reasons. You know, it's the biggest topic on Earth, and that's why there's so much hate, there's so much ridicule, there's so much, just anything but physics against this, because there is no physics for the globe. That, you know, in other words, it's just a concept. You know, a concept is just an idea. It's just someone's imagination. Put it that way. So the ball Earth only exists in people's imaginations. Put it that way.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, any other questions before you guys go, or about this subject?
I was gonna ask, just out of curiosity, right? Do you like you spend a lot of time like debating with people on this?
Well, online it's not so much a debate because there's a lot of gatekeepers. Are you guys familiar with that term, gatekeepers? Yeah. So there's a lot of gatekeepers out there, you know, a lot of plants, you could say, that have a narrative. Okay. So trying to argue with these characters is basically pointless. So they're gonna always go against physics with their explanations. Oh, but we have an explanation for this, and we have an explanation for this, but physics goes against that. Yeah. So, but these are basically, I would call them trolls. You know, they're being paid either they're being paid, or obviously they're just trolling. But it's kind of hard to have a debate online, and that's why I come out to the real world to speak to real people, because obviously it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be just having a pointless debate with another troll, which I'm not going to convince, obviously. And I'm not trying to convince people at the end of the day. I'm just presenting the facts of how physics works in our reality and how it contradicts what we're being told. So yeah, I definitely do push this, and I try to have the conversation with other students at different universities. I go to the other universities as well. And yeah, I have spoken to physics professors, I've spoken to astrophysicists, and believe it or not, they don't have a clue either. They have the same responses as anybody else, any other student.
Believe what you were taught?
Yes, because they went through the same. Because they went through the same indoctrination system that we're going through. So they didn't learn anything different. They didn't learn anything new. They're just believing what they're told, and now they're just preaching that to their students. So they're just blindly teaching their students about outer space, for example, you know, astrophysicists and stuff.
It's all theory.
Yes, it's all theory. Yes.
Even they say it's all theory.
Yes. But they'll say that, oh, it's the best theory that we have. So it's factual because of that. Huh. That's their logic, but in reality, it's not.
Yeah, you know? I feel like that's like how it is, like how 90% of this country works, or not country, the world. Like you're taught something from someone else. Was taught something from someone else, and they're just passing it down without actually questioning it.
Exactly.
It's just a systematic thing.
Yes, exactly. No, And again, there are so many different facets of this logic that people take in. But I would say this is the biggest. This is the biggest lie, because not only does it make you, not only do you start accepting something that's not true, you basically buying into an idea, like a religion, in other words. Because again, religions can be proven. It's just people preaching it. Yeah. And that's what the globe earth is, pretty much. It's just another religion, you know. And I think religions could be very dangerous, because that's how cults are built.
So wars are what we're fighting about.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
I feel like it depends on the religion. Like I can see, like, you know, where like people can deal with religions as like cults. But like for example, I'm not being biased because my religion, like, I'm Muslim, right?
Okay.
And, everything that we practice, we never it never harms anyone, but more so it benefits. Like, for example, like no drinking, like there's no con to stopping drinking, you know? Yeah. And then stuff like no premarital sex, you know, like they say, you know, you can get attached to someone if you know, have sex with them. You know, and you don't want to build attachments before marriage. Like,
okay.
You know, stuff like that. Like,
there's a lot of good teachings.
Yeah. And so, like, if like, I feel like we talk about like some specific religions, like for example, like cults. Like I say, cults are another religion.
Yeah.
I feel like those are like the Manson, the Charles Manson.
Yeah.
I feel like so I feel like it depends. You know what I'm saying? But,
sure.
But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with that. I actually, morally speaking, I agree with over 90% of what the Bible has to say or what the Quran has to say. Right. Morally speaking, I agree with it. 90%. Now, when you're talking about literally, like physically, these events happened, that's where I lose the plot. To me, in my opinion, religious books are not history books. They try to push them as history books. Oh, like, you know, the fact is they're just moral. Stories. Yeah, they're just stories
to teach a lesson
about morality.
Exactly,
about being a human.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. But when you start to preach to me that these are objective events that happen in reality, and you know, and that's where I lose the plot. You know. Yeah. Because the fact is, the reality is, nobody knows how this place came to be, how the earth was created. Different religions are going to have their different stories. And even the globe earth, the heliocentric model, has their own story with evolution. So even they have a story of how this place came to be, just like every other religion. The fact is, nobody knows how this place came to be. But that doesn't deny the fact that this place did come from something. There's definitely a higher power that created this place, because we're experiencing an intelligent designed place. You know, how the human body works, how our brain works, how cells work. It was definitely intelligently designed, 100% in my opinion. But once people start telling me what that designer is, what God is, that's where I lose the plot. Because I can accept that there is some kind of God or gods, but I don't know what that is.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know, because people who say that, Christians will say God is the father of Jesus, and then the Quran will probably have a different God, and then Buddhists have a different God, and then different religions have a different God, right? I don't buy into any of those gods. I just acknowledge that there is some kind of higher power that created this place, and that's as far as it goes. I don't know what that is.
That's valid. So you're more like agnostic, right?
Agnostic about what created this, but I accept that it was created somehow.
Oh.
Yeah, so I go with creation 100%. I used to be atheist myself, actually. I mean, I believe in the All Earth, because I used to believe in the Big Bang, that everything came from nothing,
Oh, you said you used to be?
I used to be atheist, yeah. So I didn't believe in God.
It's open to a creator.
Now, that's what science points to. That's what physics points to. Something cannot come from nothing. That's even the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can just transform from one form to another.
Yeah.
So the fact that they also claim that the Big Bang came from nothing kind of goes against that first law of thermodynamics, because something can't come from nothing. So yeah, this place is definitely a creation, and that's another reason why they lie to us. They want to keep us away from that fact that we came from something else. They want people just believing what they're told, believing that we came from nothing, that we evolved from monkeys, that eventually evolved from fish, that evolved from bacteria. So they want us to believe that we came from bacteria, and just we got so lucky that we just evolved to the state we're in now.
And that's its own religion.
That's a religion itself, exactly.
Instead of science facts.
Instead of science facts, that it points to creation, but we don't know what that is exactly.
Oh.
So yeah, this is the biggest lie on earth, in my opinion, and that's why I'm out here sharing it, because it is the #1 censored topic online as well. So the powers that be, the people that control government, that control religions and all that, they don't want this to get out. They don't want this to reach the masses.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because then people are gonna start to question the reality a bit more, and then start to trust their own common sense now, as opposed to an expert. An astrophysicist, in my opinion, is just another priest.
That makes sense.
Yeah, all these experts, like Brian Cox, Neil deGrasse Tyson, all these, they're just priests. They're no different than a priest, so. Yeah, exactly. That's what gives them credibility.
Yeah.
It's the lab coat and a degree, and now people just believe them. So again, it's very, pretty crazy.
It's a cool conversation.
No, yeah, definitely. So here, I'm gonna give you my channel.
Yeah, cool.
And you guys can check it out here. I have one more. So inside are the 6 top proofs that debunk the globe Earth.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
On top of the #1, which is the fact that the pulling force of gravity doesn't exist. It's actually a pushing force.
Okay.
But yeah. You guys can check it out in your free time.
I'm gonna read through it and I'm gonna try to debunk everything.
No,
and
yeah.
see if I can.
Yes, please do, because that's what I tried to do 10 years ago. I tried to debunk. I tried to prove the globe, actually.
Yeah.
And I tried to debunk the flat Earth. And that's how I came to this conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, appreciate the chat.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for the chat, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Take care, man. Yeah, no worries. You guys caught me right before I was gonna start to leave, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Did anybody else come through?
Oh yeah, I had like almost a 2-hour-long conversation with another gentleman. You guys can check it out. Yeah, I'm already live streaming this, so you guys can look at this one, but I'm gonna upload the edited version like within a week. So you guys probably see yourselves as well,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, take care, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.